Fishing is a big part of the Southwest Florida lifestyle. I'd like to discuss with you some information about cast nets. According to my survey, of the 13 people that took it, 77% of you knew what a cast net was, and 23% of you did not. My credibility in cast nets stems from my lifelong hobby of fishing and casting my own bait in South Florida. I've also gained some new information after researching further into this topic. This topic is relevant to you, the audience, because of your residence in this coastal community known for fishing and fresh seafood. After listening to my speech, you'll be able to purchase the right cast net for your application. What do we got going on? To start off, let's discuss the difference in net mesh sizes and their purpose. There are a few different mesh sizes that can be used on cast nets. According to Super Spreader Cast Net's website section, which is the best net for you, I found the following information if you're targeting bait fish 1 to 6 inches. For targeting bait fish 1 to 6 inches, if you use a mesh net size of 3/16 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch, it's going to work best for bait fish about 1 to 3 inches in size. It's a smaller net, mesh net, so that the bait fish can't swim out of it. If you're targeting a little bit larger bait, like 3 to 6 inches, you're going to want to use a mesh net size of 3/8 to 1/2 an inch. If you're targeting a little bit larger bait fish, let's say 6 inches and up, mesh net sizes that you'd want to use would be 5/8 of an inch to 3/4 of an inch. And those would be good for about 6 to 9 inches. And then if you're going for some of the largest bait fish, a 1-inch net mesh would be sufficient. And that'd be good for about 9 to 12-inch bait fish. Secondly, let's take a look at different size net lengths. The smallest nets are about 3 to 5 foot in radius. They're great for beginners because of their small size and they're easy to throw. Their downside is how small they open up for fish. Next size up would be like your 6 to 10 foot size nets. They're great for like an intermediate fisherman. They're more difficult to throw because they're a little bit larger in diameter, and they tend to weigh a little bit more. However, these nets have the ability to open up large enough to easily catch schools of bait. Lastly, we'll take a look at 14-foot radius nets. These are pretty much only going to be used for the most experienced of fishermen. It takes a lot of effort and know-how to throw them. When used correctly, these nets offer the optimum amount of catching ability. Now that we've learned about mesh size and net lengths, let's review the different net weights and their pros and cons. There are different net weights. According to Green Dean's article on eating the weeds, written on June of 2012, he writes, when cast netting for large fish in deep water, he wants a large net with heavy weight. The heavy weight and large mesh maximize how fast the net drops and through the water. Heavy weight would be considered about 1.5 pounds per foot of net. Green also notes if I'm in shallow water, I want a medium mesh net and lightweight because it doesn't have to drop as far to the bottom. A light net so I can throw it quickly and low to get the fish before they see the flying net. Shallow waters would be considered about like 1 to 5 foot, and the weight that you want to use for those would be a 3/4 pound weight per foot of net. Lastly, Dean writes, and on occasion, I want bait. I use a small net with small mesh and a medium weight. In shallow water, it drops a little bit faster than the 3/4 pound net. And the fish, and it's optimal for catching fish, and it sinks a little bit faster. And a medium-sized net, or a medium-sized weight would be considered about 1 pound per foot. And lastly, I would like to discuss how to throw a cast net. According to the article I found written by Christopher Collins in Florida Sportsman, written on December 15, 2011, When it comes to throwing a cast net, there seems to be just about 1 million different ways that it can be done. However, some ways work better than others. Getting the net to pancake, which is open at full spread, is what you're going for. Next, we'll take a look at the steps of throwing a cast net. Here you have me. We're going to loop the rope up in your left hand. And then you're going to take the net and we're going to try to divide half of the net. And in step 3, you have me taking it over. And we're going to throw it over our left hand. And then in step 5, we take the front of the net, put it in our mouths. In step 6, we're taking the net. In step 7, right here, we're about ready to throw. And step 8 is the final product of opening the net. And that should be the end of that. So in conclusion, we discussed, what is all involved in choosing the right cast net, from mesh size to net length and net weight. And I hope that after seeing my slideshow that you may be able to take the information that I've given to you and make an educated decision if you choose to go and start a cast net. Thank you.